Yo, man, listen to this tweet. There is no secret. If you want to succeed, you just have to work harder and make less excuses. Really smart.
Who said that?
The I Superwoman chick, Lily Singh, you know?
I mean, she seems cool, but she's wrong about that.
What do you mean? Are you saying you don't have to work hard to succeed?
I mean, I have to work hard if I want to succeed, but there are people in society who have different circumstances, and there are plenty of people who work a lot harder than me who will never have as much as I do, and there are a lot of people who have never worked nearly as hard as I have who have a lot more than I do.
So what you're saying is hard work doesn't matter?
No, hard work is very important, but it's not the definitive answer that people treat it to be.
That's ridiculous. You can get anywhere you want with hard work.
Yes, but no. Plenty of people work very, very hard, and they never get to where they want to be, even if their goals are pretty realistic.
Well, I mean, they just need to work harder, though.
You're missing my point. The answer isn't always just work harder. There are a number of different circumstances that can go into it.
Didn't you just watch One Punch Man? Like, how do you watch that show and not understand the value of hard work?
Actually, One Punch Man is a great example of how hard work isn't the be-all, end-all.
You're insane, dude. One Punch Man is all about hard work. You can't say whatever you want, but unless you're about to construct an argument with examples from the show, I won't even consider believing you.
Well, in that case, welcome to the Runaway Club.
The Runaway Club, that's the name you went with?
Yeah, it's like a show that I'm doing now where I take a theme and run away with it, talking about like a specific thing. It's a good way to revisit old shows I've talked about and go more in depth. And
Man, that's stupid.
whatever, roll the graphic. One Punch Man acts as a parody on shonen-style anime, poking fun at overused tropes through a deadpan and often stoic main character who doesn't take himself too seriously. But even with our hero Saitama's personality and uninterested attitude being used as a form of comic relief, he still remains a multi-dimensional character with serious elements that hold true to real life. I'm not much of an anime fan, but something I appreciate very much in shonen anime over Western action and superhero stories is that it's much more common for a protagonist to achieve great power through hard work and rigorous training than it is for them to achieve strength through a serum, supersuit, or through just naturally overpowered abilities. This gives me more admiration and respect for characters, making it feel like they actually earn their status rather than getting it handed to them or even sometimes thrust upon them. This has a relationship to the primary themes of One Punch Man. When you watch this anime, you'll notice a few very prominent and related concepts throughout. Success, admiration, validation, strength both physical and spiritual, perseverance, and most importantly, hard work. Saitama himself is the embodiment of an issue I personally deal with constantly, and that's the issue of feeling like you're working your hardest and you're getting so little in return. Especially in the fact that Saitama has achieved all of his goals and more when it comes to his skill set. Saitama's dedicated the last 3 years of his life to being as strong and fast as he can humanly be. So much so that he's lost his hair in the process.
I became so powerful no one can beat me. I'm the hero I'd always dreamed of becoming. So what is this? What's wrong with me?
He hasn't reached his personal ceiling, but he's broken past the limitations of the world around him, and that leaves him feeling like he can't move forward. He's at a roadblock in his life and his quest for greatness that hard work alone can't get him through. But without hard work, he'll only slip back to where he was before, which won't do him any favors, especially with how much he's sacrificed along the way. This is shown to us, the audience, in the first episode, where we see Saitama save a little girl from a monstrous villain when he annihilates the foe in one punch. He doesn't celebrate, he doesn't make a heroic proclamation, nothing like that. He breaks down. He breaks down because of the fact that being a hero for fun has just become another boring task in his daily routine that demands very little effort and brings him no satisfaction. This can be translated into real life, and it's a question many of us will end up asking ourselves at some point. What do you do once you reach your goals? What does it feel like to reach your full potential and realize not much has actually changed? In capitalist societies, we're told that if you work hard, you will be successful, and that if you're not happy with your place in the world, it's because you just haven't worked hard enough. Yet Saitama is a relatable character with all the discipline and work ethic in the world, and he's not happy. He lives a modest life in a small apartment, all alone, trying to stay positive and appreciate the little things, like a sale at the local supermarket. But he still shows all the signs of depression, and he's not afraid to say how unhappy he is about the state of his life. This is the status quo, and it's challenged when Genos comes along, a heroic cyborg who's incredibly powerful but nowhere near the level of Saitama because nobody is. Genos immediately starts asking Saitama to be his mentor, and despite Saitama's reluctance to take on a disciple and his annoyance with Genos' persistence, he doesn't tell him to go away, at least not with too much conviction, and he doesn't really protest that much. Sure, he questions why Genos is spending so much time around him, and when he moves in, Saitama wanted to turn him away until he offered to cover rent, which was convenient considering the fact that it was mentioned earlier that Saitama was running low on money. But over time, you see Saitama treating Genos more and more like a friend, and it seems as though he actually appreciates the company. This is made clear first when Genos informs Saitama of the Heroes Association, which is basically just a registry of certified heroes. And Saitama insists on Genos taking the certification exam with him. They both get certified, but surprisingly Saitama is placed in Class C, which is the lowest rank, while Genos is placed in Class S, which is the highest. The classes from lowest to highest go C, B, A, S. The reason that this happened is because Saitama completely bombed the written portion of the exam, and he supposedly only made it into the association because of his record-breaking scores on the physical exam. This leads to an interesting dynamic as Genos still treats Saitama as his master despite being ranked high above him in the Hero Association. But I'm really only explaining this for the sake of context, so let's move on. What I really appreciate about One Punch Man is how they don't treat Saitama's ungodly strength as a strength to their writing. It's almost treated like a flaw for them to work around and overcome. Saitama's strength is often used in the narrative very sparingly, and the writers wait until the right moments to use it, as well as understanding when not to use it. The best example of this is in the episode The Deep Sea King. In this episode, they actually use a lot of pro wrestling psychology to build up the Sea King, which is pretty common in anime considering how much respect Japanese culture treats pro wrestling with. But to elaborate, the Deep Sea King is made to be one of the strongest enemies in the show based on the fact that he destroys everyone. He destroys 2 Class A heroes, a Class S hero, a character who was in the show earlier and doesn't have an official ranking but would probably be at least a Class S based on his physical abilities. He then destroys another Class A Class B, and 2 Class Cs. Then Genos puts up a good fight against him, but ends up getting destroyed as well. Following this, we see one of the most moving and probably important moments in the show when a Class C hero, Moomin Rider, goes toe-to-toe with the Deep Sea King, and he won't go down. He explicitly acknowledges that he, more than anyone, knows that he's too weak to win this fight, but he has no other choice but to keep getting back up for the sake of all the innocent people he's sworn to protect.
I'm aware that I have no chance of beating you. No one needs to tell me. It's not about winning or losing. It's about me taking you on right here and right now!
He's right, get him!
Yeah, do it!
Only once Moomin Rider has been brutalized to the point where he physically can no longer fight is when Saitama arrives and kills the Deep Sea King in one punch to save the day. This is such an important moment in the show because it demands your respect for someone who isn't Saitama. For someone who's hardly even on the main cast, this respect is earned by showing that Moomin Rider doesn't give up. He's not as strong as Saitama, but he has the same heart and spirit that Saitama showed on his journey to becoming so strong. The difference being that Moomin Rider's drive and work ethic is directed more towards protecting the public than making himself stronger. The main thing I think One Punch Man shows in the theme of hard work is that hard work isn't the answer to the meaning of life, rather hard work is only as valuable as what you direct it towards. The thing about life is it isn't simple. There isn't one road to success, and it's hard to say for sure whether what you put your hard work into is actually going to make you successful. Despite his dedication to protecting citizens, Moomin Rider hasn't put in the hard work on himself to be capable of protecting the people he cares about the way a Class S, Class A, or Saitama can. One Punch Man deals a lot with extremes, and exploring the consequences of them. The first villains we see include a pollution monster created as a result of humans being wasteful, a crab man who became a monster because he ate too much crab, and a hulking titan who became a monster because he was obsessed with becoming the biggest and strongest in the world. I think the message that One Punch Man has, whether it be intentional or not, is that a happy life requires balance. Obsessions can be important to who we are, but letting any one thing consume your personality and sense of purpose is dangerous, and it will only lead to pain. In fact, a big point of development for both Saitama and Genos is that they stop to consider a change of direction in their personal journeys in the hopes of improving themselves. Genos turning his focus from finding and killing the cyborg that destroyed his village to train under Saitama, and Saitama focusing less on training as hard as possible, in favor of trying to become a better hero. Both men seem to still value their original motives. I'm sure Genos is still looking out for that cyborg, and Saitama still does his 100 squats, 100 sit-ups, 100 push-ups, and runs 10k every morning, but both of them found themselves diversifying their goals and routines, and both of them seem much more content and happy than they were in the beginning of the show. My name is Tom, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.
So there you go, you can't just work hard and succeed. Wow. Dude, do you know how to enunciate?
Is that really all you took away from that?
And your voice is like really monotone.
That's not the point. I was saying that.
I mean, you sound depressed, dude. I don't know, bro. Honestly, I think you don't even care about what you're saying, so like...
Why do I even talk to you?
Right, dude? Like, just stop talking. Like, what's the point, man? Like, you're just like so annoying, bro.
Well, I mean, I don't see you doing...
I'm going back to Twitter, man.
Okay, wait. So what you're saying is, this video I put a ton of work into, and dedicated literally hours of my life to, with the goal of proving my point, failed to convince you, even though I worked very hard on it. I put hard work into it.
I don't know, you should have worked harder, man.
Well, I guess I proved my point.
I mean, not really, considering the fact that I'm literally you, and I'm just playing the role of the counter-argument for the sake of having a dialogue in this video, and ultimately the fact that I'm biased in favor of your opinion means that I'm ultimately going to act as a straw man, meaning that you haven't really convinced anyone, aside from yourself, that you're right.
Yeah, that's true. Must be a Monday.
Thank you for watching Let's Talk with Tom on the Roundtable, but Tom isn't just on the Roundtable. I have my own self-titled personal channel, I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram, I have a Snapchat, I have all that good stuff. In fact, I even have a Tumblr. So, if you're interested in any of that, check that out, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!